Hi guys. I know something is going on here, but please just ignore it. Act like you're not seeing it. Act like it's not there, but it's there. Anyways, hi guys, welcome back to my live. And in this video, as you can see from the title, I'm going to be doing some hacks. I'm going to be giving you guys some hacks. So let's get settled and ready for our makeup class. Welcome to class. Welcome to class, guys. Welcome to class. All right, guys. All right, guys. Let's get into this tutorial. Welcome to class. And in today's video, I'm sorry, guys. Let me just set my lights. Anyways, in today's video, I am going to be doing I'm not sure exactly. I'm always not sure, guys. But anyway, I'm going to be doing like a makeup look, and I think I want to focus on like the eyes and the lips. So stay tuned. So as usual, I'm going to get into this video. The first hack that you would find very useful in your makeup tip or your makeup routine is do not skip your prep. Now, if you don't know what your prep is, your skin prep is the first products, the things you wear under your makeup. So if you're the kind of person who just wears makeup without doing a skin prep, come closer, this is for you. You don't want to wear your makeup without a prep. You know why? You're applying lots of products on your skin, and your skin is going to be it's gonna have like breakouts and dry outs if you don't prep your skin properly. So you have to prepare your skin, moisturize your skin, prime your skin to accept the makeup that is coming onto your skin. Likewise, you also have to prep your skin so that your makeup can last longer. And depending on the kind of prep you do, it's going to affect the longevity of your makeup. So if you notice that your makeup doesn't stay very long, it's probably because your prep is not done properly, and then your products can be blamed. So you don't just go right ahead and blame your products. Some people have like high-end products, but still it doesn't stay on their skin. Why? Their skin prep was wrong. So let's get right into this prep. So the first thing I like to do is I like to tone my face, and today I'm going to be using the Scent Ives. So I'm going to use a cotton pad. So you can also use a spray toner if you have that. But I have both, but today I'm going to be using Scent Ives. So this is the brand Scent Ives. You can use whatever toner you have. Yes, I'm using a cotton pad. Hi guys, welcome to my live. Welcome, welcome. My hair looks like a Christmas present. Oh my goodness. Why do you say so? Is it because of this one? I put it up because, hi Kimberly, welcome to my live. I put it up because I don't want makeup touching it. So let's get, hi Berg, hi Ted Evans, welcome to my live. If you're new here, my name is Jenna and I am a makeup artist. Oh, I see your point. Okay. I'm going to bring it down, don't worry. It's just up because I'm going to do the makeup, so like I'm using, see there's like lots of dirt. See, you can see the dirt on my face because I had like some products on my skin. So I'm supposed to, oh god, guys, please don't do what I did. You're supposed to clean your face first. So I always like to wash my face or use like a wet wipe, because I was toning it, I'm like seeing lots of products on it. So we're going to start again. So wash your face, clean your face with like a wipe, just to take off the product. I put like my moisturizer, my toner, and my sunscreen because it was a bit sunny today. So there's tons of product on my skin. So I'm just wiping everything off on my eyes as well, and then I'll be going ahead to tone my face. So I have a fan here to help me. Oh, it does look like a bow. I didn't realize. Thanks for pointing it out. So when I am done with like wiping it, I'm going to use like my fan to help me dry quicker. And then I'm going to go back and tone my face. So now that it is dry, I'm going to be using my cotton pad and a toner. This is the scent Ives. I'll be using it to tone my face. So I'm just going to put some here. And I'm going to be toning my face. So personally, this brand, I don't use it a lot. I've had it in my kit for a while, but I don't like to use it a lot because I don't know if it's just me, but sometimes it tends to sting my face. I don't know why, but it's not my favorite. So I'm just going to tone my forehead and then I'm gonna let it dry. So what makes your prep also good is if you let each product dry before applying the next one. Always like when I'm done toning, I'm gonna let it dry before I go to the next step. Don't just go and apply another product on your face when like your first product hasn't dried down. It's going to affect the overall results. So now I am just and I like to also bring it down to my neck just because your neck shouldn't be abandoned. But anyway, just drying it off. And now my skin is almost dry. And then I will be applying the next product, which is going to be a serum. So I like to use this particular brand of serum because it gives my face lots of moisture. I really, really love it. It's the Beauty of Johnson. And this is their Glow Dip Serum. It contains propolis and niacinamide. I think it's B propolis, I believe, and niacinamide. It's written all in Korean, so I can't really read it. But anyways, I love it. Just because I like the way it glows, so instead of talking, I'm just going to put it on my face. And I like to put quite a generous amount. And then I'll use my hand. I like to make sure that I get a lot of it under my eye as well. Just because that part tends to be really dry. Okay. My skin has been really dry recently. I don't know why. But this product really helps with the moisture. So like I said, I'm going to be bringing it down to my neck. I'm going to be doing my forehead too. So my skin is actually combination skin. What that means is that this part, this region, my T-zone, tends to get really, really oily. So doing a good prep to helps me to combat that excess oil in that region. So you have to know your skin type as well to know the right prep to do for your skin. Because if you have like oily skin, you also have to use like mattifying products just because you want to reduce the excess oil on your face. So using mattifying products will help. Like I said, I'm going to be fanning this again. Guys, please, if you're enjoying my video, give my video a thumbs up. And please share so that someone else can come to class and learn makeup. Oh boy. So I'm just gonna keep on fanning it until it's dry and really, really dry before I go ahead and apply my moisturizer. So the next thing I apply is moisturizer. But then I don't just apply a moisturizer. I like to mix my moisturizer with like a luminous serum. So this is the brand of moisturizer I will be using. This is the Elf Skin, yeah, Holy Hydration. So I like to mix this with the Thirst Drop. And this just boosts the overall hydration. So I'm just going to take it and apply it to the back of my hand and add the serum, and then I mix it together and apply. So I'm very generous with my moisturizer just because I want my skin to be very dewy underneath my makeup. So I'm seeing that this is dry, so I'm going to go ahead and apply the moisturizer. So I'm using the back of my spoolie to do this. I'm just placing it, and then I will use my hand to moisturize, to rub it in. So this is what I am doing. I'm making sure that it's getting under my eye. Okay. My nose as well. Just moisture, why do I keep saying moisturizing? Just massaging it into my skin. Don't forget your neck as well. And I am just doing there, pressing it in. Now I'm going to be doing this part as well. Okay. I don't know, I should have used the pin to hold this hair because it's just getting in the way. Okay. Now I like the way my skin is already looking, like it's so glowy. This is what I like to have underneath my makeup. So I'm just going to blow this down so that it can dry. So the first thing you're applying is your toner, but you gotta wash your face first or use like a wet wipe. So you're washing your face first, then you're applying a toner, then if you like a serum, then a moisturizer, and then finally your primer. So you can use like a cleansing balm. If you have that like in your kit, that's perfect. You can always use your cleansing balm. It takes away all the products that you have before and any excess shine. So your cleansing balm, and if you've like had makeup on your skin, it breaks down all the makeup and takes it out. So cleansing balms are also good. Okay, now I think this is dry. I'm just gonna give it like 2 more minutes or 1 minute just to dry down just a little bit. I'm gonna take out this, put it on a wipe. So you can use your cotton board or Q-tip to take this out. And this is well dried. I feel my face like really moisturized, but then the product has dried into my skin. So I would like to use my primer. And for my primer, I like to use this brand just because it's like a moisturizing primer. I find it very nice and useful because it doesn't like dry out my skin, so it's absolutely perfect. So if you have like dry skin, this is good for you, but you would really use lots of moisturizer on your skin if your skin is dry, so that it will bring out the it will kind of boost the moisture on your skin because your skin is really dry. Whereas if you had oily skin, using a mattifying primer helps you. Okay, so I'm just using my hand to distribute the product. And the best part of this primer, it doesn't even look like I have primer on. It still looks like my skin is wearing just moisturizer, which is what I love. But then the makeup tends to last really long whenever I use primer. Whereas if you don't use primer, your makeup, especially in humid areas or in very sunny areas, your makeup will be melting. So if you use the right primer, it will help lock in your makeup. So I'm just going to let this dry again. And then after I have primed and my face is done with the skin prep. So basically skin prep for me is 4 stages. Wash my face or use a wipe, use a toner, use your serum, use your moisturizer, actually 5, and then finally use a primer. So you don't want to skip your primer, honestly. It makes a whole lot of difference. So now that my face is dry, I'm gonna get my mixing palette. I like to use this to apply my foundation, to put my foundation. I like to mix my foundation just because my skin is like out of balance right now. The tone is just all over the place. So I like to use 2 products. This is called Lady V Beauty Foundation. This is a Nigerian brand. And I like to mix it with this Sephora brand. And this is in the shade 50N. And this is in the shade Maroon 8. Now this I would have loved to use, but it's just slightly darker than me. So I like to mix these 2 together. I love this V Beauty because it's really, the texture is so good. And the blend is top notch. So I just love it. The Sephora too is good. I love it. I wish I could get like my perfect shade, but in the summer I tend to get darker, so the shade always is a problem. But that's why I'm happy that I have so many other colors here so that I can work with them. So now that I have mixed the 2 shades, I'm gonna go ahead and apply. And then the second hack that I have is always spray your foundation. I started makeup like, I think 6 years ago, and no, it's 5 years ago. Actually, it's 7 years. It's been 7 years since I started makeup. And when I started makeup, I used to just apply like my foundation. But when I found out that like spraying your foundation makes it so much easier, it's been like my holy grail. I love to do it. It just makes the makeup blendable. So I like to place the foundation like so, and then I spray, and then I blend. So I'm gonna take this. And this is a rose water spray. I found it in Walmart, so it's really helpful. So I like to saturate my beauty blender if I'm using a beauty blender or a brush with the product before applying it, just so that it doesn't move the product on my skin. So I'm just applying it all over. And this just makes the blending easier. So I like to press the product into my skin. And I just keep going. Doing the same thing here. Pressing it in. So I'm just going to keep pressing it until it blends seamlessly. Honestly, this makes the blending so easy. So if you haven't tried it before, you should spray your foundation down. So I'm just gonna lift and apply. And this is what it's looking like. Honestly, on the day I'm lazy, I can just wear this out, put a powder on it, and I'm good. But today we're not doing that. Okay. We're back. This is what it looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and then do my contour. So for my contour, I also like to use a foundation just because it's easier to blend. It's easier to blend for me. So you might use like a concealer. If you're using a concealer, I would advise to use 2 to 3 shades down. Don't use a too dark concealer because then it just looks unrealistic. So 2 shades is good. I'm going to be using this foundation as well, V Beauty, in the shade Ebony 9. So this is just a step down from the Maroon 8 that I used for my foundation. Guys, please give my video a thumbs up. Share my video, comment, say hello in the comments, and let me know where you're watching from. So for my contour, I like to go in with a brush, and I'm just going to be taking the product just a little bit and spreading it out. Spreading it out on my mixing pan, and then I'll be placing it. So this is what I like. This is what it looks like. It looks pretty natural to me, and that is what I like to achieve. So this is why you shouldn't use too dark, although then it doesn't look realistic. Do the same thing here. And then I move it to my temple and then my forehead. So I'm just pressing it in, like so. And then I'm doing the same thing here. Pressing it in like so. So this is what it's looking like. Now the best thing to get your makeup looking really good is always make sure that it's blended before you go to the next step. So now that I'm doing this, I'm not going to rest until it's well blended. So I'm going to keep going back and forth until I am assured that it has blended seamlessly. So this is what makes that makeup look professional in the end, because you can see the hash lines, right? So you don't want the hash lines to be there. So you keep on blending it until you get like a seamless blend, until it looks like nothing even happened, right? That is what you're looking for. Now this is what it's looking like, and I like it. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to also use my beauty blender. I'm going to use the bottom, and I'm going to, whenever you're applying anything, always go into the product. Don't use like an empty beauty blender or an empty brush. You're just going to move the product. So I'm going to press this in further to make sure that it looks, I can not see any demarcation or any line. Then I know that I have blended it properly. Doing the same thing for this part. And then this is what it looks like. I like it so far. Next thing I like to do is apply my blush. Now I'm using a Rare Beauty blush. So I like to use the same brush that I used for my contour to apply my blush. This makes it blend evenly, I find. You don't have to do it, but I find that this really works for me, so I like to do it this way. So I just like to place it here, like so. I like to do the same here. So this is the brand from Rare Beauty. I got this tester just to try it, and I really love it. So I'm definitely going to be buying the full size. So I'm just pressing this in with that brush. I find that using the same brush that I used to apply my bronzer makes it blend seamlessly. But then again, the product too is very nice. I love the blend. It kind of just goes into your skin and looks very, very like skin-like. So this is what it's looking like. I'm going to do the side too. So I'm just pressing it into my skin. I keep on tapping it until I am sure that it has gone in properly. So I'm just gonna add some more here, just a teeny bit. You can smile if you want. And just keep on blending it. Then as usual, I'm gonna switch to my beauty blender. This I am just pressing in. This is what it looks like. Just pressing it in to make sure that it looks good. And then I think I'm satisfied. On both sides they look good, so I'm not gonna blend again. Now I'm gonna go ahead and apply my concealer. So I'll be using, let's see, where's that concealer? I'll be using this brand, is the Maybelline Super Stay. What shade? This is in the shade 42. Yes, I don't know if you can see it, guys. It's in the shade 42. So this is what I'll be using. I like to use two different shades, so I'm gonna get the lighter one and just keep it close by. I'll be using this brand by Rimmel. This is in the shade 070 Honey. And then I will be applying it. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is to be applying here. Actually, I'm supposed to put this on a mixing palette, guys. Forgive me. So I like to put it, it's better to put it on your palettes and then just go ahead and pick it up from there. Or on your hand. So I'm just placing it here. Placing it here. And I'm going to place it here as well. And then I will use a brush and switch to a beauty blender as well. But before I do that, I'm going to place the one under my eye. But this product actually dries quickly, so I like to work this on first and then I will go into the one under my eyes. And I'm just pressing it in. Back to the beauty blender, and I'm going to be picking it up. Just blending it in. And keep blending it in. Until I am satisfied. Now, because this product dries quickly, I didn't go ahead to put it because I've had problems with this before. But then now I can place it like so and do the same here. So if you're using a concealer that dries out quickly like this is your best bet so that it doesn't dry completely and you're having a hard time blending it out. So although you want your concealer to dry out just a little bit, just so it improves the coverage. So I'm going to go ahead and use this to blend. I'll start at the end and then I'll do this last. You can see hair. So I'm just going to press it from here. Blending it outwards. I like to look up. Now, This is something I like to do whenever I place this under my eyes. This improves the overall outcome of your under eye. Keep your setting powder close at hand. This brand is Merak, and I'm going to be keeping it close by so that I can set my face immediately. So that is hack number 3. You want to set your creams immediately after you have applied them, you have blended them in, you set them with the powder. So hack number 3, set your creams with powder. Your creams are your foundation, your contour, your highlights. So yeah. So I'm just looking up. This has dried well, so I like that. And then I'm gonna go here. I like to bring it to my eyelid. So this is what it's looking like when you've blended it in. I'm gonna do the same here. I'll do this for my nose. Now I'm going to be using the second concealer, and I will be placing it just in here, just because I want it to be just a little brighter. So this I am taking, placing it on my mixing palette. This is Rimmel in the shade 070 Honey, like I said, and I will be using this. So I'm going to pick it up with my blender. I'm going to place it here, just in there. Okay, that is not working. Just placing it in here. Now I don't want this to dry too quickly, so I'm just going to go ahead and blend it. I don't want it too dry, so I'll blend this one out. And then I'm just gonna look up. Do the same. I'm gonna blend it all the way to my nose and to my eyelid. Now this is what it looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and set it immediately. I'm gonna grab my powder, tapping the excess off. This is not gonna let your under eye crease. Always dust off the excess. So although your under eye is the last one that you blend, this is the first that you set. Just because sometimes you might have like excess skin under your eye, or even if you don't have excess skin, it tends to crease. So when you set it first, it just sets the powder and the concealer in place, and it looks really good. But if you didn't know and you just let it crease and you're seeing some lines, that's okay. You can get your brush, blend it out, and then you use your powder to set it. So I have set this. This is what makes the difference in your makeup. Then I'm going to be setting the top as well. I'm just going to be blending it out. Oh, this is just getting in the way. Just placing it. And then I'm gonna be doing the same for everywhere else that I have highlighted. Now I will be taking my contour powder to do the same. And to do this, I like to pick a darker shade of powder for my powder palettes. This is from a brand called V Beauty. It's a Nigerian brand. And I like to use this to set the contour. And I like to use a brush as well to set my contour. So I'm picking a shade here, tapping the excess off. Thank you. Thank you. Well, even if you don't wear like makeup all the time, you can still pick up some like makeup tips for when you don't, for when you do wear makeup, because you never know, right? So see, here is already creaming, so I'm gonna use this to blend it out so that I don't have it looking weird. Hi GD Chance, where are you watching from? Now I'm gonna set it with my powder. Gonna set my contour from New York. Nice. Thank you. Thank you for being on my live. And I hope you're gonna share my video with someone who can learn from this. So I'm setting the contour as well. I'm just placing it down. Placing it down. Okay. Now that I have placed this all down, next thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be cleaning this part up, and I just like to use the edge of my beauty blender to clean this up. What time is it in New York? It should be the same time with Canada, right? It should be about the same time. It's about 9:36 p.m. So I like to use the tip that is sharp to... Oh yeah, it's about the same time. That's nice. I've never been to... Yeah, it's the same time, I guess. I've never been to the States. So this is what I am doing. This is just gonna clean it up just a teeny bit. Honestly, if I'm being honest, I don't really like it. I just do it for my clients. But personally, I don't like doing this step. So if you're like me, really? Well, I guess I hear New York is very busy. So this is what I do, and this just sets that cheekbone. So always remember to blend out your powder. Don't just pick it up and apply. And this is what I am doing. It's busy. You know, where I am is not as busy. It's such a quiet city, which is so much different from where I am from. I'm originally from Nigeria, and I was in the capital city. It's pretty busy there, so this is so different. It's like so quiet. Back home, people are just like all over the place right now, but here is so quiet by this time. It's interesting. I believe it's the same for New York. So I just do this, and then I will be setting the rest of my face with a powder shade that is close to my skin tone. So I like to set the rest of my face with pressed powder because this is a pressed powder. Now what this does is that it brings the whole look together. But before I do that, I'm going to set my blush as well. So I like to use the blush palette. This is a brand called CPD. And I will be using this pink shade. So I'm going to pick it up with my brush. Tap off the excess as usual. Then I'm setting the blush. So what's the best thing about being in New York? Why do you like New York, first of all? Do you like being there? And what do you love about there? Okay, so I'm just setting this. I'm just setting this. As you can see, it looks good already. So I'm just gonna keep on bringing it all the way. I'm gonna do the same for here. I can imagine. Have you tried Nigerian foods? Have you ever had Nigerian food? Okay. Really? Uh, what kind of pizza exactly? Oh, you should have the jollof rice. You should have jollof rice. You should have egusi and pounded yam. You should have pepper soup. If you like spicy food though, because those tend to be, the pepper soup is really spicy. So, I mean, it's good for a very cold weather, but then it's spicy. So this is what I am doing. I have set my face. Oh, buffalo chicken. Oh, okay. It's funny that I haven't even like really had Jamaican food. Oh, you like spicy food, then you like Nigerian food. I haven't even had like Jamaican food. I've had like I've had Asian food, but not much. I really should try having all the cultural foods though. But anyways, guys, this brings us to hack number 4. But before we go into that, I'm going to set my face. And I'm really applying lots of blush just because I'm going to be setting my face, and when I do, it's going to tone down all that blush. So I don't want the blush to be taken away from my face. That is why I go a little bit overboard. But then if you're someone who likes your blush very minimal, of course you can go ahead and do that. So now I'm taking the powder. Guys, don't judge me. My powder brush broke, but who cares? I'm gonna use it. It serves the purpose. So I'm tapping this off, and I'm just going to be setting the rest of my face. Now this is very important because it just helps to bring the whole product together that you have placed on your skin. So this I'm doing, setting the rest of my face, picking the powder, setting the rest of my face. And I'm going to go ahead and do my forehead as well. And I'm just placing it where I want it to be. Well, if you do have Nigerian food, do come back and let me know how it was. Okay. So this is what it looks like after I have set the rest of my face. Okay. All right, I'll be expecting you soon. Thank you. Hi, Issa. Welcome to my life. So this is what it looks like. So if you want to tone it down some more, you can just use like your beauty blender to press it in. and you're good. But honestly speaking, I like it. So I'm not going to be doing any of that. So this is what it looks like. Then I'm going to go ahead and contour my nose just to give it like a slimmer illusion. We all know that it's not slim, but let's act like it's slim. So to do that, I'm going to use like a brush, and I'll be picking up the same shade that I used to contour. I'll be using that for my nose. And see, if you notice, I already highlighted my nose, so this is what is gonna get it looking really nice. I just take the brush and I go like this, and I'm just pulling it into my brow. Issa, if you're still here, where are you watching from? Where are you watching from? So I like to go like this. And honestly, the part that I like to focus on is this part, just because if you work it properly, it's going to give you that snatched effect. Not necessarily when you bring it down, right? But when you get this part, it gives you the snatched effect. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. And then I like to put it into my brow. Just moving it into my eyebrows. Just moving it all the way, tapping off the excess. Keep on doing that. Oh, I find that if you use like just the powder to contour, it is actually really easy. When you use the cream contour, like if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to find it really hard blending it out. So I find that this is a really, really good hack to work with like your nose contour if you have a hard time with the cream. So try this and let me know. So I like to do this, and when I've blended it and I've gotten it looking really nice, just try to feather it out just a bit. Oh, you're welcome. And I just moved the excess to the bottom. Now, honestly, I still feel like this looks harsh. Now, to tone it down a little bit, I'm going to go with a slightly lighter brown shade, and I'm going to place it. This is what makes it look even. It looks natural. It looks realistic. I don't think anyone is going to be going around wearing this hash line, right? It doesn't look nice. So I'm going to go ahead and use the lighter shade and place it just on top of this one. And this just diffuses that excess, that harshness rather. So I'm just placing it all the way. Please always tap off your powder brush. It makes it so much easier for you to work. So this is what I am doing. Placing this here. Just placing it here. And already you can see that it looks really natural, right? So I'm gonna keep on doing that until it looks good enough. So just blending this down. Okay. And I'm done with this. I won't really be doing much for the nose. This is what it looks like. Now, if you like, and I find that when I do this, it actually improves the overall look of my makeup. If you like, you can actually set this makeup like this. And how do you set it? You set it with your spray. So I'm gonna pick my setting spray and I'm gonna spray. This is not compulsory, but this makes a difference, honestly. Once you set like your contour and your highlight and you spray it, it makes working with your face easy. Okay. Now, you want to make sure it is dry before you touch it. Make sure it's completely dry before you do anything, because if you go ahead and work with like any bit of Wetness is going to ruin your makeup. When you put maybe like your beauty blender or your brush, what it's going to do is going to pick the product and lift it. So make sure this is dry before you go ahead and do whatever you want to do. So I'm gonna keep on. So I have an electric fan, guys, but somehow whenever I want to do makeup video, I never find it. So thank God I have a backup fan. This just makes the overall drying process easier and quicker, especially when I have to work with like clients and they're working with time, obviously. So it helps me to just dry the products quicker. Okay. So now that this is dry, I like to go back after I've sprayed my face. I like to go back with my powder brush, and then I like to set the face again. Okay. This is what it's looking like. Now I'm going to go into my brows. Now I'm sure some people don't understand this makeup style, but hear me out. This has been working for me for a long time, so I like to stick to it. So I like to make sure that I've done my skin work before I do my brows. I used to do my brows first before, and I'm sure I can still do it. Maybe next time, maybe tomorrow, I'm going to do my brows first. But then I find that this works really well because my brows still ends up coming out really nice. So here's a trick to how I get my brows looking nice. I like to use like if you have a brow gel, this is good for you. You can use a brow gel, but I don't have my brow gel anymore. It's finished. So in the meantime, this is how I get my brows looking nice. I like to use just a regular hair gel, and I put just a very tiny bit on my hand, and then I like to use a brush. As you can see, this is like an empty brush, and I like to pick up just a teeny bit of that gel, and then I brush my brow. Now what this does is it's going to get my brow staying in place. So this is what I like to do. So it's better to work in like small bits. So you can take just a teeny bit of product, come back again, take a little bit like that. Don't just pack a lot of product on your face. It's going to be hard for you to work with it. So once I've made sure that my hairs are brushed into place, I'm going to do the same for this side. So even if like you don't want to draw your brows, maybe you have like very thick full brows, this is still a very good hack. You know why? Because your brows are going to be in place, right? And then if you would like to conceal it, you just go ahead and conceal it. Maybe today I'm not going to draw my brows because I always draw my brows. So let me show you what I'm talking about. I know. I found this hack and it was like the best thing ever. It works for me, especially like when you're busy, you're running late, you don't have a lot of time. Because you know, let's not even lie, doing your brows could take a while. It could take a while. So if you have like issue with doing your brows, this is a very good hack. Just make sure they are brushed into place. Then we'll go for the next best tip. So this is how it looks like. It looks good. Now, my favorite thing to do is to set that brow. And to set it, I like to use my brush, go into my setting powder, tap the excess product off, and then I'm just placing it on the brow. Now, this is going to set your brow. Your brow won't even move. It wouldn't even budge. You know how someone is just jokingly playing with you like, wipes off your brow. This will make your brow stay in place. The hairs are going to be like staying put. Why? Because of the gel. The gel has helped the brow to stay in place. Now the powder sets it and makes sure that that slippery feeling that you will get from the gel is not there. So translucent powder is honestly the best, but this powder also works. I just make sure to work in like very, very tiny bits, tapping off the excess, and then I'm placing it here. Now, like I said, if you don't want to draw your brow, this is perfect for you. You're very okay to go ahead and go about your day. But because this is a tutorial, I'm going to be showing you guys how to get this brow looking nice. Now, today I'm not going to be drawing my brows. I'm just going to be doing the hack I told you about. So to do this, I like to, whenever I draw my brows, I like to use two different concealers or two different foundations if you're using foundation to conceal. And I'm going into this foundation that I used before. I'm going to place it. This is the dark foundation. And then I'll be taking a very light foundation. This is about 2 to 3 shades lighter. This is what I'm going to be using to do my brows. And the reason I do this is because I want a natural finish for my brow. I have done this lots and lots of time on myself, on clients, and it works like a charm. It is like a very beautiful hack. I was so happy when I found out how to do something like this. So I'm not even going to take the glory for it. No, I learned it from someone. I think Laifa Beauty, another YouTuber. I learned it and I really loved it since I learned it. I've stuck with it and it works. So the first thing you want to do is to pick up your light shade. I like to pick up the light shade. And I like to place it. Now, what you're doing with your light shade is you're highlighting your brow bone area. This is where your brow bone is. You can feel it. This is where it is. I like to highlight that part for both sides. For this side as well, I'll be highlighting my brow bone. So this is what you do when you don't want to wear any gel on your brows or your brows are really thick, and when you add maybe another pencil or brow gel, it makes it really, really dark. And you're just thinking, what should I do? This is the hack. So I like to place it here. And then I come to the front like this. And then I just tap it like so. Then the best thing to do is wipe off your brush. Make sure you have little to no concealer there. Then pick up the dark one and place it here. And what this is going to do is going to give your brow a very natural finish. And I bring it all the way here. And honestly, this is all you need for your brows. They look like I really did something to them, right? No, I didn't do nothing. Now for the top of your brow, if you feel like you want to clean it up a bit, now using the same dark one, I'm going to wipe everything off. I'm wiping everything off, making sure that there is little to no product here. And then I'm going to be using that empty brush to get this done. And this I'm just pulling all the way here. And voila, that is all you need. And I'm gonna take a brush and then I'm gonna blend it out. Now I'm using the foundation because this dries much slower than the concealers. So if you're using like a slow drying concealer, bonus for you. If not, use like a foundation. It won't dry off on you while you're working because this takes a while. So I'm gonna get the brush and then I'm going to blend in it. So to blend it, I'm just tapping it. And then I'm blending this one all the way in. Doing the same thing here. And this is it. And these are my brows. They're natural, no pencil, nothing, just good concealer work. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the exact same thing for this one, wiping off all that excess product. I'm going to go back into the light one and do the exact same thing for this one. So I'm just placing it here. Thank you. So this is what it looks like. So another thing is to make sure that your hands are steady. You don't want to be going back and forth. It makes it harder for it to stay straight. So as you can see, I've placed my hand here and I'm just making sure that it's steady, and I'm going once like that, and then I'm just tapping it off. Tapping off the excess. Then wiping it off completely. I know, it's such a good trick, right? It's just very, very nice. And it's easy, and honestly, this is actually faster. You can get your brows done in like 5 minutes or like 3 minutes, depending on how quickly you can do it. So I'm going to do this. And just pulling it down. And then I'm going to go to this part. Pulling it down. Now wiping off the excess, I'm going to do the same thing for the top. Make sure it's completely wiped. You don't want that product on your already set face, so and this is what it looks like. Just gonna fix this part just a teeny bit. Now I can blend it all out. So this is my trick to getting my brows looking really nice. Okay, I'm just gonna keep on blending it until it is well blended. Like I said, blending is key. Keep blending until you're satisfied. And that is it. So now that I am done, I'm going to go ahead and set it. Remember, always set your product. Now to do this, I'm just going to be using my setting powder, and I'm just placing it here just to set that brow. Doing the same here. Now we have to go and fix this part. If you remember, when we were contouring, we used the darker brown. So I'm going to be doing the exact same thing, just because the concealer kind of interfered with it, right? So I have to fix it. So I'm going back into that brown, touching it and tapping off the excess. And then I'm going to be going in here and moving it into my brow. This is what it looks like. So guys, I really, really like the way it's looking. So now I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys my 4th hack. Hack number 4, make sure you use an eyeshadow primer. This is very important to get your eyeshadows looking very nice, to get them to pop. This changes your eyeshadow game. Eyeshadow primer. Now if you're saying, oh, I don't have an eyeshadow primer, blah blah blah, no problem. You can use your concealer. So today I'm not going to be using my eyeshadow primer. I'm going to be using my concealer to show you what it also looks like when you use your concealer. Now I'm going to be using the lighter shade of concealer that I have, because I usually use like a white eyeshadow primer, but today I'll be using this light concealer to give it the look that I want. So I'm just going to be placing just a teeny bit. I'm placing a little here. Now I'm going in with that brush and I'll be blending it all out. I'm just placing it here. What this does is that it's going to make sure that your eyeshadow looks very, very vibrant and basically bring it to life. So I like to place it and blend it very well. And do the same here. I like to tap, tap, tap. And then I blend the excess out. So this is what it looks like. Just tapping it and making sure everything goes in. Then the same here. Looks good already. Now for my eyeshadow, I think I'm going to be doing something. Let's see, what do we have in our palette today? I have lots of browns. I need to get like colorful eyeshadows, guys. I don't know, I just really love brown nude. So I have to get better eyeshadows that have other colors. But then I'm going to be using a brown shade to do my transition. So I'll be picking up my brown shade. Guys, I broke this eyeshadow, so. This is the Wet n Wild. I'm going to be picking this brown and I'm going to be transitioning with it. So I like to tap up the excess and I like to start here to transition. So I like to place first before I blend. So I'm just placing it before I blend it. I'm going to do the same here. Placing, I like to start at the edge when I'm doing my eyeshadow, because this part is so much better when you get to place like I think I might just do a brown eyeshadow today. I'm so struggling, guys, to do brown or not to do brown. Okay, I think I'm gonna do brown, just brown. So and I'm gonna add like another color to make it like metallic. So this, I think I just ruined this. So I'm gonna start with the transition first and then I'll build up the color. So I'm doing the same here. Placing it again. So I think I might just do like an orange for the top to mix it in, because I changed my mind. I want brown. So I'm just gonna place it all over my eyelid. Yes, guys, this is what indecision looks like. Anyway. Trust me, it happened to all of us at a point. We just put eyeshadow and we go out. But then when you learn a lot of hacks, it just changes like something that is supposed to be so basic and it makes it look wow. People are like, oh, where did you get your makeup done? No, I just changed my routine. So yeah, don't worry. It'll happen to all of us. So this is what I am doing. I just placed the brown Even if you're wearing like one color like of, or maybe two colors of eyeshadow, the way you apply is what makes the difference, honestly. So this is what I am doing, just placing it all over my eyelid. See, I have lots of eye space, so I always end up enjoying doing eyeshadow. Now, if you're working with dark colors, I was supposed to do this, but you're supposed to place like white powder or your translucent powder under your eye so that it catches fallout, especially when you're working with like glitter, which I might be working with. So don't be like me, place it first before you go ahead and do this. So this is what it looks like. Now I'm going to go into an orange shade, and I'm getting a slightly smaller powder brush, eyeshadow brush, and then I will be using it to pick up the orange shade. Guys, let me confess, I haven't washed my brushes, so there's a lot of colors mixing in right here. So embarrassing, but such is life sometimes. Anyways, I'm just trying to wipe it off a little bit. Okay, now I'm going in with like an orangey shade, and I'm gonna begin it from this palette. This is M&F by Nigerian brand called Zekel. So I'm gonna pick in the orange shade, and I'm going to be using it to blend out the top. I feel like this was one kind of eyeshadow that I really loved when I started doing makeup. Kind of like a sunset themed kind of eyeshadow. Just blend it out with orange or yellow. It was always so pretty. I find that I'm going back to my makeup roots. So I'm just using this to blend this all out. Now if you want to be extra, you can drag it all out as well, which I will be doing. Just pulling this all out. And just blending this out. And just for this part, I'm gonna keep on blending it until I am content. So this is what I am doing. Honestly, I feel like this orange isn't even popping, so I'm gonna go ahead and use another palette which has like yellow, and then I'll blend this out with the yellow. Okay. And this is what it's looking like. Okay. I think I'm pretty okay with this. I'm gonna go back and use the orange just because I started with an orange, then I'll transition into a yellow. So this, I'm just gonna keep on working it into. So if you watch me closely, I'm holding my brush at the tip. This allows my hand to move freely. But if you hold it here, you're gonna run into problems because then you're just trying so hard to blend it and it's just packing a ton of products there. So hold it at the tip so that it works pretty good for you. Then you can walk your hand just like you like. So just gonna keep on putting that orange in there. Keep working it until you are content. I'm gonna switch to the yellow, and I'm picking that yellow, placing it just over the orange to make it more bright. So I'm just blending it out. I'm going to look at both of them. Do they look even? You want to do this so that they look even. So I'm gonna look. I think I need to adjust this one just a teeny bit, just so that it looks the same. Okay. Now for the best part, I'm gonna be using like a metallic eyeshadow, and what I'm gonna be doing with that is just placing it on top of this. So let's get into that. So the color that I will be using is let's see, where's that color? Now going back into this palette, I'll be using this shade and I'll be placing it on top. So if you have like a glitter or what do they call it, pigment glue, that is perfect, but sadly I don't have it, so one half. Oh, that's okay. Thanks for being on my live, and I will see you again. Please do try Nigerian food and come back and tell me you tried. Thanks for being on my live. Thank you so much. I'll see you again next time. So I'm gonna be picking this what you call it, this eyeliner, and I'll be placing it. Now what this helps my pigment to do is it picks it up for me. It's not compulsory, but you can do without, but I find that this works for me. And I'm going to go with a brush. Oh boy, my brush is missing. My brush has deserted me. Oh yeah, there it is. So I'm going to be picking up that shade of glitter, and then it's like red, kind of like a red glitter, and then I'm placing it on this. I'm just placing it here. And I'm just blending it out. Just placing it here. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and do this side. I'm gonna do the same thing. And what I should have done is to diffuse it in my hand just a teeny bit. That is pretty controlled. I'm going to go in with another, picking it up, just placing it all the way. Okay. Now that I've gotten this, I'm going to go back into that brown because right now it looks crazy. So I'm just going to go back into the brown. I'm going to try to diffuse it out and make sure it's blended. Making that brown. Blending it all the way. So guys, as you can see, this already looks better. So I'm going to be doing the same thing, using that brush to blend it all out. So I'm just going to adjust this part just because I feel like it could be better. I'm just placing it here. Then I'll take that brush, pick up the brown, and I will blend it all out. Just placing it, blending it all out. Okay. And this is what it looks like. So this is what the eyeshadow looks like. Now that I am pretty content with what it looks like, I'm going to be applying like an eyeliner. I'm going to be running a black liner, and I like to use this roller pen. This is from a brand called Beauty by Rish Rish, and I will be running this first of all here. Just on the upper eyelid. Doing the same here. Okay. Then I'm going to be doing that for here. Okay. Just in here. And then I'll be doing the same here. I've never tried this before, but I'm gonna try it today. I'm gonna try to wing out the bottom liner. This I'm just doing a little bit. Gonna be winging it out. So I've never done this before, so guys, you're the first to see this. I find that this works for people with like really small eyes. This looks really good. So you might want to try it. Winging out the bottom liner. I'm gonna do the same for here. Just gonna wing it out just a teeny bit. To do that, I'm just applying the liner and using a brush to wing it out. And I'm using this angled brush because it's going to give me the right angle. And to enforce it, I'm going to be using a black shadow. Just to emphasize it. I feel like using like a double liner. I don't know, guys. That. Okay. Now I'm just going to try and do the exact same thing for the top. Doing just a bit and winging it out. So I'm going to be doing the same thing. This is why it's good to use an angle brush. You're going to get like the direction that you want it to go. So I'm just using this angle brush to wing it. And this is what it looks like. I'm going to be using my eyeshadow again, of course, to enforce it, to reinforce it. So this is what we're looking like. I'm going to do the same thing here. Then I will use my brush to do the same thing I did here. I really love this angle brush because it's slim enough so it gets to move in the direction I want it to go. And I like to use my eyeshadow palette just to reinforce it. And just keep on blending this. Okay. So this one is slightly higher. That's okay. I can live with it. I'm gonna try to adjust this one, guys. It's gotta be good enough. So for this one, I'm going to be adjusting it from the bottom. And this is what it looks like. I might just try to lift this one just slightly higher because that one looks low. Okay. This is what it looks like. I really love it. Now I am done with that. And to clean this out, I'm going to be taking my setting powder just to set the under eye just again. Okay, so I'm pretty content with this. No, I lied. I'm just gonna keep on applying until... Okay, now I'm content with it, guys. This is what it looks like and I like it. And next up, I'm going to be using my mascara. This is my mascara. It is the Colossal. And I like to apply it here, like so. And then I just like to do this. I like to brush it thoroughly from bottom. This is what it looks like. I really like it. I'm going to do the same here. Brushing from the top. And then going in and brushing it from under. This Colossal works really good for my lashes because they're really tiny. But I find that Colossal does a good job. Okay. Now this is one tip that changes like your eye makeup. So now guys, back to my hack. My fifth and final hack is that, guys, don't be like me. Wash your brushes. Make sure that your brushes are always clean because it helps your face and prevents like breakouts. So make sure you wash your brushes every single time after using them. And you can wash like warm water and soap. That's pretty good. I'm using like a mat, helps you to really wash it properly. So there you have it, guys. My 5 hacks for a beautiful pro-like makeup. Use clean brushes. It helps you to distribute your products without mixing different shades, right? So Let's run over it, guys, from the top. The first tip is do not forget to prep your skin, and not just prep your skin properly. Your second, and your prep should involve like a toner, a moisturizer, a serum if you like, and then finally your primer. Don't skip your primer, and please, primer comes after moisturizing. The second one is to spray your foundation so that it makes it easy for you to blend. Yes, spraying your foundation with like your setting spray makes it super easy to blend, and it works just fine, especially if the formula of your foundation is like really thick. When you spray, you find out that it is so much easier to blend. The third is set your creams. If you apply concealer, set it. If you apply your contour, your cream contour, set it with the powder contour. And then you should use an eyeshadow primer. If you don't have an eyeshadow primer close to you, you can use your concealer, but use the lighter concealer for your eyeshadow. So eyeshadow primer or your concealer. Then finally, spray twice. You should spray twice because the first spray you do, hi Samly, how are you? When you spray the first time, it actually breaks down all the powders that you have put, and then when you put the second spray, it kind of like really finishes up the makeup. So spray twice, it helps you, right? So my bonus tip is to wash your brushes. Please wash your brushes. Wash your brushes. I can't emphasize that enough. Make sure your brushes are clean whenever you want to use it, your beauty blender. And also make sure, another bonus tip, make sure your beauty blender is damp before you use it. Not wet, but damp. Make sure it's damp. And these are my 5 hacks, guys. So do enjoy. And I'm just going to apply my lip gloss, and this will be the end of this tutorial. So this is my super easy makeup hacks to transform your makeup. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray, and that will be the end of this tutorial.